to CPA Connect School of Technology mobile session, week 6. See you on the internet, AKA social media overview. And a couple announcements. I wanted to sort of say thank you to everyone that was here yesterday. What I have really come to see as we've been, making this program up from scratch is that Wednesday in some ways is becoming a bit of a test run. Thursday seems to get a little more polished based off of what happened on Wednesday. So I appreciate everyone kind of going through that, and thank you. Thank you for bearing with us as we, I feel like I'm learning along with you guys too, for sure. I wanted to mention at the beginning today, because it didn't come up until we got pretty far into the session yesterday, we are going to offer some one-on-one in-person sessions starting in May with yours truly. I got my second dose of the vaccine on this past Sunday. So we're going to give 3 weeks to let that sort of clear and do the full antibody development. And at that time, I will be comfortable to work with people that are also comfortable to meet in person. We don't have details of what that's going to look like yet, but we will come out with them as soon as we know. And but our target to begin offering that it will be in May. So just FYI, it's been challenging, as we have all experienced. Holding phones up to the camera and trying to guess what people see. So it will certainly be a lot easier to work in person and be able to actually see the device. I think it'll streamline a lot of what we're trying to do. So we're looking forward to that. And without further ado, I guess we can just get started. As always, please just unmute yourself and ask a question if you have a question or comment. Once I go into the slides presentation, I won't be able to see the squares with everybody, so I won't know if you're raising your hand. So yeah, just dive right in. We are covering similar content to yesterday with some variation, and but it is geared towards a mobile device. So I will share my screen and we can get to it. Okay. The first social media site that we're going to talk about, and we've talked about it before, so I'm not going to spend too much time. I think everyone is familiar with the ubiquitous Facebook. Facebook was the original sort of social media site. It was first came out in 2004, and you originally you had to have a college email. Working college email to be able to sign up for Facebook. So it was definitely geared towards a certain set of the population and has since sort of taken over and expanded. Seems pretty much everybody's had a Facebook account at some point. But I think that it just bears, it's worth mentioning. Our social media presence has become just really important to a lot of people, especially during this time of COVID when we've been sequestered away, in our houses. But having this online presence on some platform, we're going to go over a few today, but having a way online that you can connect to other people, I think can be a really valuable tool as a social aspect, Certainly there's some therapeutic value. You can find groups to join on various social media sites. Particularly Facebook has a lot of personal interest and or support groups. But I just want to kind of throw that out there. I think some people get overwhelmed thinking about they don't know how to use it or keeping up with it. But there really can be a lot of value in making connection with other people by having some site that you're involved on, some social media site. But anyway, as you I'm sure are well aware, Facebook is a way that you can post about your own life and see other people's posts about theirs. So you can share images or thoughts. You can resend things that other people have posted, or repost rather things that people have posted to spread information or thought. And it can get a little out in the weeds, certainly. But yeah, it's a good way to stay connected and find out what other people are thinking about. Please note that the app use of Facebook is quite different than the way that one uses it through a browser window on a computer, desktop or laptop. It's a very different format, and it will take some getting used to if you have been used to using Facebook on a computer as opposed to a tablet or a phone. You can certainly like us on Facebook, Community Partnership on Aging. We do have a Facebook page, and we offer some online programming through our CPA plugged in programming, which you can connect with on Facebook. And I just really wanted to highlight this post from today that Carolyn put up. She is in charge of all of our social media. We are on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. And Carolyn manages them all. And happy Earth Day, everybody. I hope that you will be able to do something to celebrate our beautiful planet today. So next up, Twitter. This is a site for people who are more comfortable maybe with words than taking pictures or sharing images that way. Keep your thoughts succinct. You have 200 or 280 characters or less. So that becomes it's a quote unquote micro blog. Seems kind of grandiose to call it a blog, but yeah, it's a way to kind of get your thoughts out. Highly political. So be warned if you haven't accessed Twitter already. But again, if you are a person who likes to debate politics and causes, Twitter might just be the place for you. Instagram is a unique social media site in that it was developed to be used on a phone. And it was, to my knowledge, the first site to do that. So the entire way that it's set up is based on the idea that you would create a post that is sized to one's phone. You can share photos or videos. You can also, we did last month, we had the one-off monthly presentation was on the app called Canva. And you can use that app and others like it to make word posts that are sort of like an image of words, if you will. So you can also make word posts, but it was originally set up to be for photos, for images. There's become a sort of class of people called influencers that through Instagram and also YouTube. And Instagram is kind of known for creating this Instagram worthy life, right? Magnificent views and just really over the top, everything's perfect. There's been a lot of talk about how we kind of now tend to measure our own lives up to what we see on Instagram and other sites like it, where everything looks perfect all the time. It's important to remember that those are just images, and we're only seeing what people want us to see. I was interested to note there was a news piece not too long ago. Someone had posted an entire fictitious vacation from their home, that they manipulated the photography to make it look like they were in these exotic locations, and they did it on purpose to prove that you could, you could set it up. Instagram has mimicked some features of some other sites to kind of get in on the market, and we're going to talk about Snapchat and TikTok in a little bit, but it has copied some of their features to kind of bring over that business. As we talked about last week, Instagram does have a video chat feature, so it's also nice to have in that regard if you were thinking about setting it up. Reddit, this is a news aggregate site, opinion forum, where you can, if you are a member, you can vote up or down posts that other people have made, and if the more upvotes someone has, the higher up in the feed their post becomes. Anyone can read a post on Reddit, but only members can post and comment. The mobile app is a bit different than accessing it on the desktop. If you've ever done that, it can be a little tricky to do posting and commenting on your phone or your tablet. It seems to be, most people agree that using a mobile device is better just for sort of browsing on Reddit. Snapchat is something that has gained a lot of popularity, especially with younger people. This is an interesting feature about this message and chat service, is that the content is only there for a limited amount of time. After the person has viewed the message that you send them, it disappears. And if it isn't viewed, it is only in existence for a set period of time before the site just deletes it itself. You can send videos, pictures, and text, or there's a live chat. So it has a lot of different sort of ways to connect with other people, but anything that is a written message or an image that you send to someone, it disappears. So it's kind of a unique feature about Snapchat. It's uniquely tethered to an app called Bitmoji. You may have seen that people create these avatars that look very much like themselves, but they're like a computer animation of themselves. And Bitmoji is one of the services that offers that. So it's a very realistically looking like you sort of cartoon image. People tend to enjoy. And then I'm sure people have heard, if they're not personally aware of the site TikTok. This is another one that is very popular with a lot of young people. People make very short video clips, and there's a couple sort of standard formats that people use where they do voiceovers, lip syncing along to an existing soundtrack, or side-by-side videos doing the same sort of dance. Those are called duets. And this is another app that has made people very sort of internet famous, along with YouTube and Instagram, that they may not necessarily have really done anything in particular, except that they've generated a lot of views on their app. So this is that internet famous, that they haven't even really, made any kind of real content like a film or written a book or done anything of note. They just have danced well for about 30 seconds on this app, and it's kind of funny that it's become a part of our culture, in my opinion. So those are an overview of some social media sites. We're going to move into the action step portion of our session here. And I have a little bit, I'm going to kind of go through the instructions first, and then we'll try it together. I'll minimize the screen and we'll try it together. One of the things that is a common feature of social media sites and a way that it sort of unites people is by being able to leave a comment. So most of the sites offer this. You'll generally have to be logged in, so have an account. A lot of times you can do that for free, but you will be logged in, and then you can leave some kind of comment on the post that the person has made or the video that's been put up. Today we're going to practice by leaving a comment on YouTube, and we're going to practice on the Community Partnership on Aging site YouTube channel. Community Partnership on Aging is at a little bit of a disadvantage. Some of you found this out yesterday on our YouTube channel, because we have a somewhat low amount of subscribers. And if you have under 100 subscribers, then your YouTube channel doesn't get a specific URL that is recognized when people type in your information. So it doesn't necessarily pop up as the first thing on the feed. You have to really have a very specific search to connect with the Community Partnership. So we are hopeful that if anyone who isn't already today and during the process of while we're doing this, if you would subscribe, we would love that. But certainly optional. And I'll just sort of talk through these instructions. We're going to search today for a video called Yoga with Sue. This is one of our yoga instructors here at Community Partnership, and she does the session through Facebook Live, through CPA plugged in programming. And then that gets sort of taped as it's happening, and then we post it onto YouTube. So when we go onto YouTube, you'll search for it, and I'll repeat all this. You'll tap on the tile that looks like this one here. Here's Sue, sort of laid out on the floor, and it'll say Community Partnership underneath. There's going to be a tap on the comments section. It'll look like this. And then this is a screenshot from my phone of what it looks like. The top sort of grays out, and then my keyboard becomes visible, and I can input whatever I want, and that's what I chose to write today. And then there's going to be some kind of indicator that you'll tap that's like an enter, and it may look different on other people's phones. On my phone, it's this little blue arrow. So then I tap that, and then this here is what the screen looks like after I've posted my comment. So you see from here where it's written, and then to here where it's posted, right under. But I know this is the sort of thing where we will learn best by doing. So I'm going to stop sharing that, and we'll try it together. So I hope that everyone did receive the email that I sent yesterday, asking to make sure you had the YouTube app on your device.